Let's get some movement in the thoracic spine.
All right.
Turn on all fours, put one hand behind your head. We're going to thread the needle.
This thing said that I've been live for 30 seconds, but there's absolutely no way I've been live for 30 seconds. I just turned the thing on. But good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening.
It is definitely evening.
It is definitely evening. So I know the bottom of this thing says Bible Talks, but I just got on here really briefly with Brother Molly, and Molly decided he would do this one with me. So this would be something for the masses. There's Molly right there.
Come over there.
So today we're going to talk about a little bit of coping, learning how to cope with a situation. I'm so glad that Molly decided that he wanted to do this thing with me. He just really for real walked in the house, and I said, "Yo, man, I gotta talk to the people real quick, and just let everybody know what's going on in my brain, what's going on in my mindset, and dealing with death sometimes is very, very hard, man. It ain't the most easiest thing in the world to deal with.
Not at all.
Molly, grandparents, yeah.
My cousin.
Yeah, that was rough. That was really rough.
Friends.
Yeah.
We had a couple people we lost.
A lot of people that's been gone within the last 5 years. COVID, before COVID came, I've lost quite a few friends, at least, I'm going to say about 14. And they were back to back. And one of the hardest ones I probably had to deal with is my friend Tiffany Cartwell. May she rest in peace. That's when this all pretty much started for me. And then going downhill, and it's pretty much got me in Christ. And Molly can contest. I don't do a bunch of drinking anymore. It's okay. I know sometimes this dude be looking at me like, dude, who are you? Because he's known me for so long. So the fact that he able to do something like this, he's always been very supportive of me and my progress, which makes our friendship a lot better. And it makes it easier to be able to talk to somebody who's able to, I say sometimes articulate. Sometimes he can finish a sentence before I even say anything, which is absolutely fantastic. Same here. Or sometimes we'll be thinking of a joke and we'll be thinking of the same joke. And it's like, golly, you've been around somebody for like 32 years of your life and you really build a close bond. But tonight I want to talk about my headspace and where my headspace is. Lately, it's been very, very hard to grieve. And Molly always say, man, you need to find a place where you can grieve. You got to do that, man. It's sometimes I believe as men, Molly, we don't get a chance to express enough of how we feel because we believe sometimes it's I would say it would be too unmasculine not to do it, you know.
Yeah, you make yourself vulnerable.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, like that's not something a lot of men feel comfortable doing.
Mm-hmm.
We try to stay stoic, try to stay solid for ourselves and those around us that depend on us, because when emotions kind of take over, you kind of lose that mindset of a leader, and you kind of fold into yourself to try to deal with those emotional feelings that you have, which takes your eyes off of what's, where you're heading the ship.
Yeah.
And so, a lot of times you don't, as men that's doing it by yourselves, you don't have anybody to come and steer the ship while you go take a nap, take a break, take a breather to try to deal with your internal feelings.
Yeah.
And it's difficult. It's for sure difficult.
Yeah.
So we tend to not, because there's nobody else.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So one thing that I put up here, and we can talk about this for a little bit, is we got to be good with the outcome. You know, we don't always, you're not going to change the situation. I don't care what situation you're in. Whether you didn't get that job that you want, or sometimes sometimes they just, you know, it could be something, it's definitely something better out there for you. It might be a relationship that, you know, you just have to let go. You know, sometimes you got to be good with the outcome. And because when you're good with the outcome, you can make better decisions on moving forward in your life. Go ahead and talk a little bit on that too, Mo.
Yes. Understanding things may be just the way that they are.
Mm-hmm.
You know, no matter like what you've done before, like how much you've poured into it, you know, it is what it is, as they say.
Mm-hmm.
Being able to accept that, the acceptance of that allows you to then start to make moves on what's next.
Yeah.
You know, so you have to develop acceptance, and that's not an easy thing. I say it like it's easy, but acceptance is hard.
Very, very much hard.
You don't want to believe that something is lost or missing or no longer available to you.
Mm-hmm.
And so you fight that feeling emotionally,
you
know, and it hurts. And it's like, I don't want to let that part go.
Mm-hmm.
And so instead of being able to let that go and move forward, you hold on to it, you harbor it, and the emotions of it just sit on you. And the heaviness of it prevents you. It freezes you. It keeps you stuck in place.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of times it's a hard thing to get over, especially if you don't know how.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes we get into an emotional rut and don't know how to get out. And we're here and then it's like, am I moving too fast? Am I not showing reverence to what has been lost by moving on so fast?
Right.
Is it okay for me to be okay?
Yeah.
And you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And if you really cared about something, someone, whatever was lost,
it is, right.
You get that dilemma of whether or not, is it okay for me to be okay about this?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, you know, having that acceptance, saying that it's okay, you know, it's not an easy thing to come by, but once you realize that that's what you need and that's what you can obtain, you shoot for that, and then when you have it, you press on.
It makes the move a little bit better. It doesn't make it easy to do it, but it makes the move a little bit better to be able to move forward. A lot of times as men, like you say, we wear this on, we got the whole, like, it feels like we got so much weight on the shoulder. So if we just allow whatever that happens just happen, and we'll be okay with it.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing is, this is my number 2 thing that I thought of. Don't blame yourself, man. Get out of that notion of everything is your fault. I know sometimes I think a lot of, I could have did this a little better. I could have did this a little better. Oh man, it's my fault that I wasn't able to grasp onto this, or I wasn't able to do this. Oh man, I'm so frustrated with self. And when you're in that state of mind of you keep blaming yourself for something, you blaming yourself for a relationship, you blaming yourself for not being able to get the job, you blaming yourself for not being able to run a marathon, whatever it is that you blaming yourself for, man, don't blame yourself. Be good with the outcome. Don't blame yourself. Keep on pushing, Molly.
Yeah, sometimes it feels as though it's easier to blame yourself, because when you have things like death, you know, there is no one to blame, unless it was like a murder or something. But if you just losing family, you know, to natural causes and things like that, you start to look at yourself like, well, maybe if I visited more, or maybe if I went and helped them get medicines, or maybe if only if I, and then it's like you starting to put what happened to them on yourself,
Yeah.
and that's not fair to you.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
life is life, and things happen,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and it's not always going to make it that you're at the center of the cause.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes we do that because that it kind of gives us somebody to point the finger at.
Mm-hmm.
You know, where all this emotion that is welled up, who can I like put it on so that I can direct these feelings towards?
Yeah.
And if there is no person or or incident that created it to where you can be mad at it,
Yeah.
you turn it inward and say, it's me.
Yeah.
I did that. And it's not fair to yourself. It's
Yeah.
not fair to you to do that to yourself, to put that weight on you.
Yeah.
It just puts you back, like I said, it puts you in that circle of I can't think of the word. But you get into a cycle of self-doubt, self-blame.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and it's hard to get out of that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So you can't blame yourself, man. The next thing is when you stop, don't blame yourself. Forgive yourself.
Mm.
So it's so important to
Mm.
be able to forgive yourself and just let things go.
That's
Because
big.
a lot of times we in this motion where we just think that, oh my goodness, I could have just did this so well. And we don't give a chance to say, you know what? I did all I could do. I came, I did what I could do for the person. I got you. I did what I can do for that thing. And I'm okay with not being okay. So I'm going to forgive myself and I'm going to just let whatever be. Go ahead, Mo.
So the one thing that I've learned is you have to be able to give yourself grace.
Yeah.
You can't look at the things that you've done and say, this is a problem. This has been the problem. This is the reason why. Again, things happen and your choices may not have been the best. They won't always be the right choice,
Mm-hmm.
but in life, you still have to make a choice and it might not always lead you to the right outcome.
Yeah.
But if it didn't lead you to the right outcome, it's not the end of the world.
That's right.
But you can't carry that. You have to, as you say, forgive yourself for those things, those that you decided to do in life that you thought was maybe not, you didn't think it through all the way,
Yeah.
but you still made a decision and that you have that right to live life the way you see fit.
Yeah.
And if it didn't give you the greatest outcome, and you feel bad about that, that's fine. It's okay to feel how you feel. But if you feel as though you've done a disservice to yourself or others, then once you are done atoning for those things,
Yeah.
you then have to give yourself grace and forgive yourself.
Yeah, let me give y'all a story, man, just real quick. Before I first, got back into the body of Christ, and Molly can contest to this, I was going on a tangent. I was crying. I said, Molly, I did so much wrong, man. And Molly looked at me and was like, did you do any wrong to me? He's like, man, did you steal anything from me, bro? You know what, man? When I look back at that, I realized that, some things you can't. And another thing I want y'all to know this: people aren't as forgiving as God. So be careful what you atoning for to tell everybody that, I got some people commenting. All right. Hey, what's going on?
Sakina says hitting nails clean on the head tonight.
Oh, thank you so much, and I appreciate it. Auntie, hey Auntie. I love you too, Auntie. I love you too. Hey, that's right. Give yourself grace. Hey, listen, man, listen. And this is another thing. We didn't plan this out. All these things that I just came to my head, and I figured that these are things that needed to be talked about. What up, Rick? Love you, man. I see you, Rick, man. Hey, listen, man, I appreciate y'all coming on. Yeah, but like I was saying, go back to this. Yeah, give yourself some credit. I'm not saying pat yourself on the back, but learn how to forgive yourself. It is so important to say forgive yourself and then forgive the other person. Because dig this, y'all. While you go on a ruck, that person that you holding on to, they sleeping at night. They sleeping at night. While you all mad, they sleeping at night. And sometimes people don't even know that they did you wrong. They might have did you wrong and they might not have know it. So, you know, and you also got to be able to be willing to be open to have that open and honest conversation with people, man. You got to start opening your mouth and talking. Another point. This is one that's going to get you. It's okay not to be okay. Listen, I had to learn that the very hard way, man. This has not been easy. And everybody was like, Barry, are you okay? And I said, yeah, I'm okay at the moment. When I wasn't okay, and that was like one of the hardest things for me to deal with because, you know, this my guy that just passed. You know, this wasn't no random dude from off the street, man. Uncle Ike done told us so many daggone stories. I thought we was rich. My Uncle Ike done made up Nikes, Adidas, what else he done made up? Newports. Came out with a book called Street Ministry. It's just so much. It's so much stuff that my uncle done came out with. Man, we should have been rich, but it's okay not to be okay.
Absolutely.
You do not have to tell people I'm okay when you're not okay. Tell people, no, I'm not all right, man. And if you need a hug, say, look, I need a hug. If you don't need to be around somebody right now, say, hey, listen, I can't be around you right now because I need a little bit of personal time, space. Take the space that you need, please, y'all, and get that mental mind reset. Everybody needs to be able to mental mind reset. Mental mind reset your body. Mental mind reset your mind. Things that you need to be away from, be away from. Listen, if it's sometimes it might be a spouse that you might need to just reset. It don't mean that you don't like this person, y'all. It don't mean that you don't love this person. Sometimes you need to, what men do, go to their man cave. You need to reset. That's all that is. And if it's somebody that you know that you need to be around, you know that they're going to help, they might help reset, reach out to them people, man. Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Molly. I know you got a few things to say on that.
I mean, that whole "it's okay to not be okay" it's absolutely true. The one thing that I used to kind of like frown at people, you know, when you're at a funeral, they come to you and say, "Hey, are you all right?"
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Stop asking me. Nobody here is okay.
Yeah. Oh,
you
man.
know? So I mean, because it's like, I know you mean well.
Yeah. Right.
But your words also hold weight.
Yeah.
And it's like, am I listening to this person say to me at a funeral of my loved one, am I okay?
Yeah.
The answer is no.
Yeah.
And you already know that.
Mm-hmm.
You know? But it's like you try to sometimes put on the front for these people that are just trying to be nice. Mm-hmm. And they say to you, are you okay? You say, I'll be all right. No, you're not all right.
You're not all right at the moment.
I'm not all right. I'm not okay. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm not okay. Yeah. And it's okay to not be okay. Mm-hmm. Now, you don't want to, you know, chop their head off for asking a question when, you know, you're emotionally high off of what's happening. Yeah. But it's like, it's a two-way street, because I say that, but I've been that guy before in my life to say to all the people that have suffered loss, and they, oh, is you okay? Yeah. So I don't do that anymore, because I know how it feels when somebody says that to me. Yeah. So I'll say, do you need anything? Yeah. Yeah. You know, can I hug you right now? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes that just getting that physical connection and passing that good energy, some good vibes, you know, it helps some. You know, but as the moment said, it's okay to not be okay.
My girl said, I'm glad I had time to just listen in tonight. Y'all providing clarity to people, especially me. Oh man, it is refreshing to hear it's okay not to be okay, because sometimes you feel guilt for not being okay. Absolutely.
That's major.
Oh my goodness.
That's
Yo,
major.
listen, sis, what you just said was a whole mouth full, man.
Yes.
So here's the thing. Hey, my man Israel, what's good with you, man?
Yo, Chuck.
Good to have you on. Hey, listen, man. Sometimes in your life, you gonna go through some things that's gonna be real detrimental. They're gonna hurt. Go ahead, you can click it. It's gonna hurt. You're gonna deal with it. It's gonna be and the things that's hurting you that you're dealing with, it's gonna be detrimental, man. And you're gonna have to tell people, hey, right now I can't deal with this.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And it's okay to be like, hey, I can't deal with this right now. You know, go ahead, Mom.
I was just reading Sakina's other line. She said it's also not shameful to cry. Absolutely not.
Listen.
Yo, it is social. It's not a social norm to hear that men cry.
Yeah.
You know, but as I've grown over these 4 decades of life,
yeah,
you know, finding a space to release, you know, is super important. It cleanses the soul.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, it's one of the things I have to find out how to do now.
Yeah.
You know, when I because it's so locked into me now that I have to, like, I'll go and look up those like soldiers that's coming home and they get surprised by their family.
Yeah.
And they had those real genuine family moments.
Yeah.
Because that kind of releases me.
Yeah.
And I just, oh, that's so, and
it's so touching, right?
It's touching, but it's like it allows me to let all the other stuff out.
Right.
Because ever since, you know, I became an adult, you know, playing football was how I used to let out everything when I was upset or whatever. But I say all that to say that having a good cry, man, it cleanses the soul.
Listen.
Let it happen.
Let it happen, man. When you fight, I had a teacher that used to tell me back in the day that men that don't cry tears cry bullets. And if you look around at what's going on right now, the kids that's thinking they too tough to pull out tears. Look what they doing right now. They walking around in here and they shooting and killing up everybody.
They don't give a flying floof.
Yeah, they don't. Thank you for not cursing.
John says Bible talk right at the bottom of the screen. Like, I'm aware. I have some awareness. I know what kind of page you on now.
I thought he was getting ready to go in, man.
You have me on the dome, got strippers and bottles of liquor. On Bible Talks, we get litty. I'm good, bro.
Thank you so much. Hey, man, but it's look. Crying is healthy. Listen, and I want all you guys out here to know it do not make you any less than a man. Hey, it doesn't make you any less than a man to shed a tear or few. And sometimes you got to let it all the way out. I'm going to tell you, and I don't want my mom to know this, but I'm going to tell it anyway because we just being honest right now. I called my mom just to ask her how she was doing. And she was saying she was good, but she started talking about her brother, and then she broke down crying. And the whole while she breaking down crying, I'm talking, but she don't know I'm sitting here. And I got my boy at work, and he grabbing me on the shoulder, telling me it's okay. Soon as I got off the phone with my mom, I went in my office and I cried like a baby, man. And I told everybody, listen, I got to go home. I have to leave. I cannot stay here at work and try to work and perform a job and then handle and I'm going to read some of your comments out loud too, guys.
Sakina's getting ready to jump off, but
Yeah.
she's going to go have a good cry herself.
Oh, I love you, King.
Yeah,
love you, King
love
Bean.
King.
And you call me anytime you need anything, yo.
Ms. Reds says definitely one thing I'm going to do is cry when needed. For
Absolutely.
Sure. I've also had to teach my partner it's okay to cry and show emotions.
Yeah.
We need to know that that's a safe space.
Yeah.
You got to know that it's okay to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you just going to keep your defenses up and you never going to have that moment.
Yeah.
You know, so it's good that you do that for your partner because sometimes there's no space for that.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you got to make it yourself, and that's not always something that you're taught to do or you know to do.
Yeah.
So that's awesome, Ms. Reds. I'm glad that you do that for your partner, and please continue to do it.
And I'm glad you shared. Let's see. And our next thing on the list is, oh boy, give yourself time to grieve. This is one of the things that I absolutely find very hard to do. So it's like it would be something that would be, and this is the reason why I come to you and I'm talking to you guys about it, because this is something that I struggle with. I have not really given myself any time to grieve because I've been playing with mama. I've been calling cousin Brian. I've been like the middleman in between everything else. And I've been making excuses not to deal with self. And what I'm trying to tell you all is that that is a very unhealthy way to deal with anything. When something goes wrong, you're going to snap completely out and people are going to look at you like you're crazy. They're going to look at you just like this because you're going to snap out. So what you need to do is however you can do it, give yourself enough space and enough time to get away from folk or get near somebody and grieve. You have to be able to grieve, or you have to be able to accept whatever the outcome. I don't care if it's a job, whatever that's stressing you so bad, you have to let it out. You have to get it out. Whatever the issue is. Sometimes what us folks like to do is we like to snobble around for weeks and days and days. And look, nobody can't tell you how long it takes to grieve either. I don't want nobody to tell you, oh, you've been grieving for 6 months. So what? However long it takes you, but get up. That's the main thing I want to talk to you about. Give yourself time to grieve, but get yourself up. Go ahead, Molly.
Bro, my great auntie.
Yeah.
She passed in 2013, bro.
Mm.
August 16th. I
Yeah.
mean, it's almost 10 years to the day.
Oh, man.
You know what I mean? I'm sorry. My Aunt Tanya passed August 16th. My auntie passed 2 weeks later on September, in like the beginning of September.
Mm.
And I still break out in tears because of her loss, because of my loss of my great aunt. Still. Just she'll pop into my mind, and I have to have that moment to grieve her even now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no time limit on feeling how you feel for those you love.
Absolutely.
Loss is loss. It's legitimate. It's tangible. You can feel when something you have is taken away.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you need to take a time to process that.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean that you get 10 minutes, you get a week. You know, your job might say you got a week to grieve.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's your job.
Yeah.
That's not you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I said, it's been almost 10 years to the day that I lost my great aunt, and I still shed tears when I think of her. Yeah. But that just lets me know that was important to me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's love.
Mm-hmm.
I love Auntie. I love her. I love her. And my Aunt Tanya. I love my Aunt Tanya too. She was taken way too soon.
Yeah.
I'm almost the same age that she was when she was gone.
Yeah. Yeah. How about it?
So
Yeah.
we gonna grieve how we gonna grieve, but we have to give ourselves the opportunity to do that.
Yeah, you got to. It's one of the most important things that you have to do in your lifetime is give yourself that time, that space, and however you can do it, however you need to do it, it has to get done, man. Whatever you need to do. The reason why the reason why I did this particular video, I didn't want to throw anything out there. I didn't use any scriptures tonight. I just figured that sometimes people need to hear that people that go to church, which you would quote unquote say is human. I'm human. Okay. I have real emotions like anybody else. I have real feelings like anybody else. I'm not holier than thou. I probably go through a lot more issues than a lot of other people do, from, speaking the word of God and being called a false prophet or maybe a liar. And you got to take that, and people cuss you out. You got to take that, and people say crazy things to you. You have to take that and endure. So yes, I'm human, and a lot of those things bother me a lot of times. It took me a long time to get the backing for this podcast, Bible Talks that you see right now, because I had saints that was believing that getting on the internet was a sin. The internet was a sin, and all the stuff that you're doing is, it was a sin, and you can't do this because that's a sin. And so legalism is a real thing, believe it or not, Molly, in the church. Legalism is the truth, but I'm not going to get into that. I did want to come in here and talk to y'all about being able to coping with anything is good. Now, the last but not least is spend time with loved ones. Anybody you can to spend time with, if you love them, if that's your dog or whatever. I don't care if you got a roach. If you like that roach and you like to play with that roach, spend time with that roach, because somebody might step on them one day and the roach ain't going to be around no more. Because if you come up in here, we spraying that mug with Raid. So spend time, all jokes aside, spend time with the loved ones. Call them up. Tell them you love them constantly. That is so important, to be able to call your loved ones up. Say, hey, I was just thinking about you, man. That's all I did. Even if it's for 2 seconds, you pick up your phone and you say, hey, I love you, man. That's all I wanted to say. Oh, well, that's what you called for. Yup. Mm-hmm. And hang right up. Yep. At least that person know, you know what? That's crazy. Yep. Bull just called me for 5 seconds just to tell me. But then you don't know how much that might impact somebody's life, because you said, I love you. It only takes a phone call, a couple words. Yo, bro, what's going on? Oh, I'm good, man. All right, cool. How the kids? Oh, they good. All right, I was just checking on you. I'm just doing a few things. I just wanted to hear your voice to let you know that, you my man. I mess with you. I love you, bro. And that's all you really need, man. It's just a few good words to say. Spend time with them. Mm-hmm. Hug them. Tell your mother, look, you only get one mother. Mom, you listening? I love you. Dad, you listening? I love you. Cousin Cordan, I love you. All y'all that's out there, all my family members. I see somebody commenting on already. Tell somebody you love them, man. I love you, cousin. I love y'all. Y'all people that's watching right now. I love you. I want you to know that I'm heartfelt about love, man. Reach out to somebody. Tell them you love them. This is my guy for years, man. I don't know what I would do without my guy right here, man. Sometimes when I don't have nobody to talk to, got me all emotional.
It's a safe space, bro.
Whew. Sometimes when you don't have nobody to talk to, this dude is right here all the time. I love you too, cousin. We got to say this more often, and not when things is going wrong. Say it when things are right, man. Stop waiting until people start dying and people going to the grave to scream out, I love you. This is one of the reasons why I wanted to make a platform like this. One, so everybody can be able to talk about the Bible or talk about what's on their mind or talk about things and do it in a good space where nobody is judging them. And that's another thing, man. Stop judging everybody so much. I don't know everything. And guess what? The person that you're talking to right now that you're trying to persuade, they don't know everything either. But what we can do is start sharing. It's okay to share with one another. Start sharing. Share the information. Because the word of God it's going to prick your heart anyway. You hear what I'm saying? It's going to prick. But when y'all keep going like this to somebody, don't nobody want to hear nothing like that. That's why we all screwed up and everybody all separated, because you got one over here preaching like this and you screaming and hollering and it ain't no love behind it. Where's the love at, man? Go ahead, Molly. I know you got something to say. Spend time with loved ones. Yeah.
Sometimes you're not in a position to move like that.
Yeah.
But a phone call,
mm-hmm.
a text message,
mm-hmm.
an email, a smoke signal.
Mm-hmm.
Just, it don't gotta be much.
Mm-hmm.
Like my cousin Eric, he calls me randomly just to tell me he loves me. You know what I'm saying? Wood, he hits me up. and the thing is, it transfers such a positive light.
Yeah.
And it didn't take much.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so even if you can't get to these loved ones, if you beefing with them, just let them know, I was thinking about you.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just wondering how you was doing. I hope all is well.
Mm-hmm.
You're done.
That's it.
You know, some positive reinforcement, something to just let somebody know that you care to some degree. It goes a very, very long way.
Yeah.
And so I encourage y'all to do just that.
Yeah.
You know, tomorrow, look at your phone. Who hasn't you talked to in years? What family member, what friend that you care about, you just haven't talked to?
Yeah.
Just shoot them a message saying, you crossed my mind. I hope all is well. I was thinking of you. I love you. You know, hit me up. Whatever. It does something for your energy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm a big believer in energy and flow and karma and those things that those intangibles that are quite tangible when you can feel when somebody cares, because you can definitely you can tell when somebody's out to harm you or create malice. But how often do you get the opposite of that?
Yeah.
So if you don't have it in your life, be that in somebody else's life, and it'll come back.
Yeah.
It'll come back to you. So if you can't spend the time, make the time, or make the effort, I should say.
Yeah.
To just show them that you care.
One thing I want to say, and then I'm going to end this. My uncle, before he died, he was they found him in front of my grandma's house, unresponsive. But I'll say this: God made it where he was able to make it back home. And that's so important. And it's two ways that I can look at this. I can look at this in a carnal, and I can look at this spiritual. And then after this, I'll just allow this I'll let this air out, and I'll leave this for you. He left, walked out of the house, and wherever he did, he did it. But when he left his house, he knew where to come back, where his safe haven was. So when he went back home, and all of you that's out there that's looking for a safe haven, God is calling you back home. And you don't have to, you don't have to keep running. and you don't have to keep digging in your sorrows, because there's an open arm that's for everybody. And I just wanted to say that, man, may he rest in peace, because that was my guy. Yeah, thank you, cousin. I love you. Love you so much. I did this because I wanted to make sure that everybody knew that I was okay not being okay, but I'm okay. So this was very therapeutic to be able to do this. My people, I just asked this for everybody to reach out to Mary Floyd and tell Mary Floyd you love him. I know this probably might be hard for Mama to watch, but Mom, I love you. And keep her in your prayers, man. And I'm gonna keep this thing going, man. The Bible Talks. We working on spiritual warfare. That'll be the next topic. That would be, I think that's the 5th. What's the date on the Monday getting ready to come up? I'll give y'all the date right now. I'll give y'all.
Yeah, I think it's the 8th.
The 8th? Hold on. 1 second, y'all.
The 7th.
The 7th.
Monday
Yeah.
the 7th.
So Monday the 7th, we'll be back with Brother Mark Ray. And we're going to be talking about spiritual warfare, some of the same things that we were kind of touching on tonight, just to give you a back to what we were saying. 1, be good with the outcome, 2, hey, don't blame yourself, man. 3, learn how to forget. Well, learn how to forgive yourself. And it's okay not to be okay. Give yourself time to grieve. And whatever you do, make sure that you are spending time with your loved ones, because that's the way to go, man. Spend time with the loved ones. And that's it, man. You know what? I normally let my man Will do the final thought, but I'm going to give that one to Maul, man. Take us away with a final thought, Molly.
Ultimately, give yourself grace. Loss is something that's a part of life.
Mm-hmm.
Life be lifing, and there's lessons in everything. So take these lessons, grow from them, and make the most of the life that you have in front of you, because none of this is promised to us. Not today, not tomorrow, not next week. And because of that, we should love on each other as much as we can, as hard as we can, every time we get the chance to. And that goes for, especially for loving yourself. So at the end of the day, it's going to be you and God. And so until then, show love to you and everyone around you.
There you go. I like that. Thank you guys for tuning in, man. This was a special edition of Bible Talks. I love you guys. Peace be out. And I figured that this would be hopeful. Please share the live. And I always say this: when you share the live, you share the gospel. But this was a good one for anybody who may have been going through any kind of issues like myself, And you guys keep on pushing, and peace, and be black, and be strong. I love you, man. Peace, we out.